At the end of the cycle, I think they always separate. Crypto always breaks apart because of all the fear and greed that goes into it. So, look, the truth is that everyone's plans and dreams are tied to this trade. But it looks like it might go all the way to the end of H2, which makes sense. Again, the ISM or business cycle kind of causes gambling, risk, too much capital, and all that other stuff because people are making more money. We're still not sure. People are pushed out of the risk curve by that. That's what makes the real cycle go, especially the alt season. We find a strong link between the alt season and ISM. I see it as the same thing as the Bitcoin dominant chart. Either it's making a big head and shoulders top or a GMI crash pattern with the drop, the rise, the failed new high, and then the drop again. It makes sense, but we need the ISM to grow so people can put their extra money into riskier investments. A lot of people think that July will be the month we've all been waiting for. A lot of these things should happen in July or August in the United States based on the ISM, the money supply, and rate cuts. This is a very good sign. It's important to remember that nothing is certain, and there are still a few things that could definitely stop this bull run. Some things that Raoul usually doesn't talk about are included in today's video. This is because Raoul is still very optimistic about the future of the economy. However, there is something going on at the Federal Reserve that will have a huge effect on the markets and needs to be explained before the end of the year. So today we're going to play this Raoul clip. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you some much needed background and then we'll go from there. Pay close attention, guys. It looks like the market isn't really set up, and volume is rising. The liquidity factor for token prices is going to go up soon. This is also the point where alts do better than Bitcoin when the market as a whole gets bigger. There is more action all over space. We have stories about people who are trying to build big things, store wealth in Bitcoin, or build big things on other chains. From my job, as you know, it's pretty straight up from here. It smells like a yellow fruit is hovering around here somewhere. This is a good run for Bitcoin. I don't know where it goes by August. The good things will surprise us, I think, in how quickly things move. After that, things will calm down for a while. But even when global N2 was used as a forward sign, it only went sideways for a short time. That sounds like some chop in the middle to late summer. Now global N2 is going up again, and there is a very strong link between the two. It won't be perfect the whole time, but I think we're in for a really good run from now on. In general, though, it seems like the middle tier does better than Bitcoin. On the other hand, things in the bottom tier will sometimes do better because they're new, interesting, and get a lot of attention. That being said, capital doesn't really move that far out of the risk curve very often. The amount of money and interest that is available is how I see it. That's kind of like paying attention to cash, right? That's the whole point. Along with that, there are a lot of coins now. For now, let's not talk about the bad coins. We don't have enough money to fund all of the gambling and other things. The market has to pay attention to where the attention is. In other words, some memes will do really well because they get people's attention and in turn money. Using Bitcoin as a reserve currency and building the whole government on blockchain. In other words, it's interesting to see. Also, a lot of people tell me that if all this money is coming in from sovereigns, it might produce an outside return. I'm thinking that if we go from 3 trillion to 100 trillion, which is my estimate based on the trend rate of growth, you need bigger players every time because the market cap is bigger. There's no way you'll get to 15 trillion this cycle without bigger players, so it's kind of, I don't think it's going to happen. It's what people think it is. I believe it has to do with how big the market is. Many more people will be involved as it grows, and as blockchain technology is used for more things. It will use alts for infrastructure lines, new ways to store data, and other things that are on the way. Because this makes everyone like the super cycle. It's possible that the cycle will be longer because the business cycle is still below 50. We've talked about this before. In general, it takes a while to go up. After that, we use the GMI Financial Situations Index, which is 9 months ahead of us, and the fact that the dollar is falling even now makes it look like this might not be able to stop. It may last until Q2 2026. Because rates didn't change and the dollar stayed the same for a while, it's like the whole cycle got thrown off. So it looks like there might be a chance. Again, nothing is certain in this world. That this year feels more like 2020 than 2021. Or it looks a lot like 2017 in a scary way. We bought that low in the first place and it worked out great. And near the end of 2022, when there isn't much world liquidity, prices don't move very much. But I don't know, Bitcoin's gone up 6 times since then. Getting to the bottom of it does work. When it really counts though, isn't it? If there are Bitcoin or crypto chips that need to be taken off the table, this doesn't have to be the full cycle top, there can be sub-cycles inside. Since I've already looked at the got to 5s a few times, backs off again. So you can think of it as a weekly RSI or an overbought oversold measure. I think of this as having about a 90% connection, which is how I explain it to people. However, the other 10% is usually made up of fear and greed. which caused the market to get ahead of itself. This is what you're picking up here, along with the difference between liquidity and deviation from the trend, right? People have taken too many risks when it gets too bad. Then there are other scores like leverage that you would add to that and say, yeah, and the leverage is built up. That's why we have too much of the total market cap. The natural leverage number will go up over time as more people use swaps and enter the market. But we also have these bigger guys. As the market cap goes up, we have to measure it as a percentage, just like we do with stocks and other things where short terms are used. It's now the boring zone. Raoul is basically saying that the next big step forward will happen when a lot of these sovereign countries start to put a lot of money into blockchain. I know what you're thinking, okay, so a lot of rules have been made, but the money hasn't really come in yet. That's the most important thing, right? It doesn't really matter which cryptocurrency or blockchain it is when these big players with trillions of dollars are putting money into it. This includes altcoins, Bitcoin, and everything else. Any kind of cash is going in there. That's going to snowball into something big. Before states can really think about this, they need to get their budgets in order, which means paying down their debt first. Next, the price of that loan needs to go down. It's clear that cutting rates is a big part of this. In the past few years, 10 rate cuts have happened in Europe because of this. This is also why Donald Trump is pushing the Fed to do it again very hard, because it's sorely needed. No matter what, though, I think this is something to be happy about. China is cutting rates very quickly. In Europe, rates are being cut very quickly. This is also being done in most other countries. Whatever the reason, the US is definitely behind the rest of the world. But according to the Fed, they will catch up before the end of the year. That is what we are going to wait for. And once that happens, the banana zone will really take off. Now, Raoul seems to believe that July will be that month. I do believe that there is a good chance that that will be the start of the rate cuts. If not August, I really hope that will be the case. Then we can all enjoy crazy amounts of money coming through and altcoins finally getting the big boost we've all been waiting for. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm setting myself up to make the most of it because, as Raoul said in this video, we saw what happened in 2020, in 2017. As in, you can make a lot of money if you can fully take advantage of this. You can make your life better. And a lot of people in my trade group you can join for free have already started making changes in their lives, even though the price of XRP has been flat for a while. Even though it hasn't been going up or down very quickly, we're still making money and doing really well. There I'm putting all of my trades for you to see. And this is what you can see, 110% up, 48% up. There are some great trades that we post regularly, that we're now closing out. That is something you can get for free. Just click on one of the exchange links I've put up here on the channel, bit.u/BTCC, and do what it says. Make sure that it's available where you live. Of course, after you sign up, you need to make a deposit and send me your email address so I can give you access to both Discord and Telegram. Then you can join whichever one you'd like. Also, check out all of my deals and become a part of the community. I really want all of you to be there so that we can make the most of this bull run. About every 4 to 5 years, this kind of chance comes up. So let's really kill it together. This way. If you liked what you read, click the like button. Remember that nothing I say in these videos is meant to help you with your money. Read the disclaimer below, and while you're there, check out the Crypto Crusaders website and join the group. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.